Welcome back, football fans. You're here on First Down Fridays, your favorite place for all college football, all the scores, statistics, predictions, and recaps. And I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Johnny Felder. How are you doing today?
I can't complain, man. Like, every Friday, like, it's good, man. You feel me?
Love to be here.
Yes, sir.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Obviously, now you're seeing our beautiful faces.
Yes.
We will be moving to this from here on out, so now you can expect to see both of your illustrious co-hosts in action every week. So,
most definitely.
So to get into the show a little, let's give a recap of our predictions last week. I just want to say, I did go 6-0.
I mean, hey, listen, man. We have to give our flowers out. Not only for me, but for my boy, Levi. He went 6-0. And I mean 6-0, and I went 5-1. Isn't that crazy? Y'all have to give y'all flowers to my boy, man, because he most definitely deserved them.
Thank you so much. Anyways, let's get into just briefly South Carolina, Missouri. That was a rough outing for that South Carolina rushing game. The offensive line, crazy stat. They ended with -9 rushing yards. Abysmal. They got carved on defense. Missouri had 294 rushing yards.
And that's crazy. And when you really think about it, bro, South Carolina rushing was so bad. Lenoir-Rhyne had 10 carries for -28 yards. And it's bad for them, especially as an offense, because they still can't get it right, honestly.
Yeah. Lenoir-Rhyne had a pretty solid game. Went 18 for 28, 302 yards, 2 touchdowns, but ultimately it wasn't enough.
Bo Prabula was the one up top.
Yeah, that's right. Moving on, we're gonna go on to what was the next game you?
So the next game that I really wanted to talk about was Texas Tech in Utah. Now we're not gonna say too much, but Texas Tech definitely put the belt to Utah, and Baron Moore literally was the offensive show in that game. Devin Napier kind of struggled this game, and I believe that the offense that Texas Tech has is really unstoppable, and that's why I believe that they got the win, not only on offense, but on defense too.
Yeah, I think they just came out. They showed that they were the better offense. Going into the game, they were a top 10 offense. I kind of expected it to be a high-scoring outing,
right?
I kind of, I did predict Texas Tech to win, so that wasn't too surprising on that front. But moving on to USC versus Michigan State, and USC just continues to impress. I mean, their offense is, just looking They're just
airing it out. Like, Michigan State literally had opportunities to stop the pass attack, but obviously they still can't. And USC is ranked number 25. Now, remind you, it is that week for pretty much rankings and stuff, and they're literally moving up within the rankings. Don't sleep on them. They are most definitely a dark horse.
Yep. And then moving on, I want to talk about Indiana versus Illinois.
Holy.
Yeah, that was not quite what I expected. I did expect Indiana to win. Blew them out the water, 63-10. Going into that game, there were some doubts about their competition thus far. Kind of cupcakes through the first 2 games.
Right.
First 2-3 games, sorry. And they came out and proved a lot of people wrong. That offense, I mean, you see the score. It speaks for itself. So what stood out to you in that other than the score?
That whole game really just stood out to me. Like, they literally had put belt to them pretty much. Like, that whole game as a whole, the offense was literally just pretty much just doing whatever they wanted. And that's a fact. And the defense literally couldn't stop it. It's like one of those big brother moments, if you get what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was a tough one to watch if you're a Illinois fan. But we'll have your game coming up later in the show. Moving on to Nebraska versus Michigan. Now, this was a really intriguing game.
It really was.
I think a lot of people were, up in the air. The line wasn't too difficult for either team.
Right.
I did have Michigan winning. They did end up winning. But Dylan Raiola, I want to say he's really emerging as a top young quarterback in college football. He played very well, kind of like I expected. It was going to be a close game. I expected Michigan to win, and I said, one of the key factors, if their run game can really get going with Justice Haynes, he's a great running back, and they ended up getting it done over Nebraska. So
pretty much. So how I feel about the game, really, like he said, Dylan Raiola has drastically improved. And we said it last Friday that his freshman season wasn't the best, but this season now, he has a whole lot to prove, not only to the whole nation, but to his whole team as a whole. And he's literally carrying them on his back. And you literally cannot deny the fact that he didn't have a good game, but Michigan ultimately came out on top. And like we had said about the defense in the running attack, it literally shows that Michigan had wanted it more. The more they passed, the more they just got more comfortable with the offense, especially within the passing and the running attack efficiency on that.
Yeah. Al, that's going to do it for our recap of last week's games and our predictions. When we come back, we'll get into this week's games, and we'll start with 3 of the bigger marquee matchups coming up this weekend. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to First Down Friday. I'm your co-host, Tucker Moore, and I'm joined by my partner in crime, Johnny Felder. Now we're going to get into the second portion of our predictions, and we're going to start with Auburn and Texas A&M. I want you to, what are your thoughts on this one early before I get into my kind of thoughts on this one?
So pretty much how I feel about the game. So as many watched last week with Oklahoma versus Auburn. So pretty much with that game, you literally had to look at John Mateer in his offense go dumb. I mean, there's literally no denying Oklahoma at this point. Their offense has literally got it together, and then their defense is really tough to stop. And they literally pretty much stop everything. I mean, Auburn, come on. How did you literally let a wide open pass go? Y'all literally could have been in the game. It literally just one of those moments. It literally could have been a close game, and that's how I really feel about it. Yeah.
Well, moving on to Auburn versus Texas, and not moving on, but looking at Auburn, they're 199th in passing yards per game. That was one of the key selling points this year. Jackson Arnold coming in, having that great receiving core, as I've mentioned before, Cam Coleman.
Right.
They got a couple of really talented guys, and you just haven't seen it. I don't know what's been going on there. On the flip side, Texas A&M, they're a top 25 team when it comes to passing yards per game. Marcel Reed and that group with Kevin Concepcion, they've really been a dynamic duo. They've really got it. That offense has just looked clean. They've just moved the ball efficiently, and I'm looking at them, and also their run game. I'm just looking at this game, and I don't think Auburn has enough to keep up with their scoring attack.
Right.
And ultimately, I have Auburn taking this one pretty decisively, 37-17.
That's real shaky. But nah. So with this game right here, I believe that pretty much Texas A&M will take this by a huge margin. And not being biased or anything, but it's pretty much watching Texas A&M is like watching Golden State play ball. It's a beautiful thing when you can mix the run and the pass. So I literally have them taking this 35-14.
And I'm not sure if I did. I might have slipped up and said I'm taking Auburn. If I did, I meant to say Texas A&M. I have them winning 37-17. Sorry about that. Moving on, I want to go to LSU and Ole Miss. Now this, personally, I might be the most excited for this game out of all of them.
Right.
I'm looking at this game. I think I just want to come out and say this. I think LSU are kind of pretenders. I don't think they're as good as they've been. I don't think they're the number 4 team in the nation. I'll say that. That Clemson win is looking worse and worse every week. Their offense, I looked up this stat. They are, now I think this is including FCS as well, but it said they were 216th in rushing yards per game, just around 115 per game. That's not going to do it. That's not going to get it done. And on the flip side, their pass game hasn't looked that great either. And, despite their defense being their strong point, they're right outside the top 50 in points allowed thus far. So I'm not seeing this top 4 team. I'm not, you look at the Florida game a couple of weeks ago, only won by 10 points, 20-10. And DJ Lagway threw 5 picks. How is your offense not capitalizing off of all these turnovers? I just don't. And on the flip side, you have Ole Miss, which their offense has looked just outstanding. Talk about their quarterback situation a little bit, because I know we spoke about this briefly. Yeah.
So it's really crazy that we can sit here and I could actually talk about Trinidad Chambliss. Did y'all know Trinidad Chambliss won the D2 championship last year against Valdosta State, and he did it effortlessly. And on top of that, he's been dominating the D2 level coming from Western Michigan out of Ferris State. Watch out for them in D2, but his growth as a player really impresses me, in pretty much to be able to take over the SEC right now, like how he is doing. It just amazes me, like how you can come from the bottom and literally rise up to the top, honestly. And I really like his story, and I really think that he will prevail against LSU.
Yeah, and I think it's a really cool story. Having Austin Simmons obviously out with the injury, so he comes in. He's playing pretty lights out through basically 2 games he's played. Over 720 yards thus far, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. I think he's really come in, and I don't think a lot of people expected him to pick up right where Austin Simmons left off.
Right.
So therefore, I just and also their rushing attack, their leading rusher, up over 350 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns. I just think overall they have shown me more thus far. Therefore, I have them winning 35-20, actually. Taking a pretty big upset for most. For me, not really that big of an upset. What are your predictions on that?
So I definitely have to agree with you on your score prediction. I have them winning 35-28, though. I really believe Ole Miss can bounce off their momentum, especially with Trinidad Chambliss balling the way that he is, and the whole offense is just literally just flowing through him pretty much. Can the offense continue this against LSU? Like, can they really prevail? And that's why I say I love Ole Miss offense, and I like Trinidad Chambliss' story, and I have to give it to Ole Miss.
Awesome, yeah. And moving on to our last game, and probably the biggest game of the week, we have Penn State versus Oregon, top 10 matchup. Going into this game, I'll say Penn State hasn't looked quite like a top 3 team to me. Their schedule thus far, I say that their schedule hasn't been that strong. They haven't looked particularly just what I thought they would be coming into this year. And the narrative, this narrative, I think going into this game will be huge. You look at the past, James Franklin historically, he's known as, he can't win big games, can't do that, can't. I think that plays a key role in this one. I'm not as confident in him to go out and win a big game like this. And on the flip side, I think Oregon, they're obviously loaded with talent. You look at quarterback Dante Moore, young guy. He's really taken that starting quarterback position and just ran away with it. They got plenty of guys. One guy I look at is the freshman receiver, DeCorian Moore. He is so talented. He's a really talented guy. So overall, I don't have too incredibly much to say about this one, but I do have Oregon winning the game. I have them winning 28-14. I hope that doesn't bite me in the butt. I'd like to see James Franklin go out and win a big game, but I haven't seen it too much this far, so that's where I'm going with this one.
So I literally have to pretty much disagree on that, and it's my biased opinion, honestly. So I literally have Penn State winning 35-21. Nobody, and I'm being real, like nobody is literally entering Penn State with all the whiteout. Like that whole energy, that stadium post is literally going to play a whole factor when playing Oregon. Look at it last year in the playoffs. You don't expect SMU to be in the playoffs, and it's one of those nerve-wracking moments. So I literally have Penn State coming up on top.
I mean, that's fair. I could definitely see it happening. It's especially their whiteouts, their environment.
Right.
You know, Mo Bamba's going to be blaring out there. You know, excited to see that. But that's going to do it for our prediction segment. Stay tuned because next we're going to come in with our trivia segment. This week we're going to do former college football stars and what team they played for. It's going to be about kind of forgotten stars. But if you want to listen to that, stay tuned and we'll be right back in a moment.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to First Down Fridays. I'm your co-host Tucker Moore, joined by Johnny Felder. Now we're going to get into, personally, maybe my favorite segment, the trivia segment. And this week's theme, we're going to do college football stars, former college football stars, and where they played at. And this is we brought in 3 for each. First one being a little easier, second, medium, third one should be pretty hard. So we kind of brought in some players who maybe be a little forgotten. So either way, I'm ready to get into this. I'll start with your first question, and this is and I'll add, it wasn't the criteria, it didn't have to be this way. I just happened to bring in 3 running backs. So we'll see how you do on this one. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Your first former college football star is LaDainian Tomlinson.
LaDainian Tomlinson, Chargers. It's so crazy. I remember having his jersey. Did he play at TCU?
He sure did.
All right.
1 for 1.
Let's go Horned Frogs.
There you go.
So my question to you is, where did Tavon Austin play at?
West Virginia.
You're on the button with that.
That's a layup. That's a layup. Okay, he gave me a softball.
I had to throw an alley.
Your second one, I think you could also get this one. Monte Ball.
Monty Ball. Dang. He played in the Big Ten. He played somewhere. I have to take a wild guess, an educated guess. Did he play at Wisconsin?
Oh, he sure did.
He did?
Yes,
Oh.
he did. That's a good pull.
You definitely raw for that one. So my next player is, where did Sam Bradford play?
Oklahoma.
You're on the button with that one.
We got it.
I thought I was going to shake you up.
We're cooking right now.
Literally.
All right. We'll see about this one. This one, I had to dig deep in my bag for this one. All right. Your third and final one. It should be pretty hard. Kadeem Carey.
Last season
He led the league in rushing in 2013.
I know. Kadeem Carey. Did he play at LSU?
No.
Where did he play at?
Arizona.
What?
Yes. I completely forgot about him.
What year?
He played from 2011 to 2013.
Yo, that was the year where Arizona was actually relevant. They had Scooby Wright in them. How didn't I get that?
Crazy. I honestly don't know if I even would have got that. I had to do some research. Maybe I would have. But anyways,
so
on to your final.
I'm gonna be real. They don't call me Johnny with the bag for nothing, and I literally had to dig out my bag for this one. So my question is, where did Phil Robertson play at? And I'll give you a hint.
I know where it is. SMU. Wait, no. Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
Okay. I do remember. Okay. If you want to give me a half a point, whatever.
I'm gonna give you a half, but we're gonna have to end this up right here. I am your host, Johnny Felder, aka Johnny with the Bag, and I am tossing the love to my boy, Levi Tucker.
There we go.
Thank y'all again. And stay tuned and subscribe below. And please drop down your favorite trivia questions that you would like to ask. Thank you.
And that's going to do it for our trivia section. When we come back, we're going to give a brief prediction for the Newberry game versus Lenoir-Rhyne this weekend. Join us in a few moments when we come back. Welcome back to First Down Fridays once again. I'm your co-host, Tucker Moore, joined by Johnny Felder. And very briefly, we're going to get into Newberry's game this week versus Lenoir-Rhyne. Coming into the game, Newberry coming off of a tough loss to Catawba. Lenoir-Rhyne coming into this game, surprisingly 2-2. Johnny, what are you looking for in this game? What are the key factors that are going to play into this one?
All right, so for Newberry's side, I feel like honestly their offense has to keep on clicking, and honestly just come through. Their offensive efficiency isn't bad or whatnot. They have to continue. You have Reed Sharpia still passing the ball, still doing his job. You still have the running backs and the receivers doing the job. It's literally just one of those things. Can the defense come through in the clutch when they need to? And will the offense do their job also? And on Lenoir-Rhyne's side, surprisingly, whenever I searched it up, Lenoir-Rhyne has one of the toughest schedules in the SAC. In their first game alone, they had to play West Florida. And this week alone, I feel like, honestly, this is going to be one of their toughest games also. So with that being said, I literally have to give like a tough prediction and go with Lenoir-Rhyne for this prediction right here.
I think that's fair. I think we're both definitely hoping for a different outcome.
Right.
I think Newberry, regardless, they'll come out and play hard. Hopefully that offense picks it back up from their game prior to the last, where they put up 49 points, but we'll see. But that's going to do it, folks, for this week of First Down Friday. I'm your co-host once again, Tucker Moore, and this is Johnny Felder. And join us next week where we'll go over the recaps for the games we predicted this week and also give our previews and predictions for next week's game and a new set of trivia questions, and we'll just bring you all new content next week. Thank you guys for watching, and see us next week on Friday.